Hi guys, I've been meaning to make a video for quite a while now on camouflage makeup. As you may or may not know, I have got burns on my face and body, and that has led to, you know, uneven texture, different colours, raised scarring, normal scarring, and different colours all throughout. See, these are all scars on my eyelids. So there are 3 different types that I'm going to go through with you today. The first one was the first one I discovered, which was the ESTEE Lauder. ESTEE Lauder is great. Does what you need it to do. It lasts for at least 12 hours if you apply it properly. The thing with this though is I used to add 2 layers of this. I used to wait for it to dry before adding another layer. I just felt like one layer didn't do what I needed it to do. Didn't cover me up as much as I'd preferred. But the only downfall with this, and the reason I stopped using it, I've got quite a lot in here still, is because they didn't really have a shade that matched my skin tone. This is really light in comparison to what I actually need. So I was forever bringing my skin tone back down to match the rest of my body with powders and contouring and things. So that's that. Second of all was Veil. So got Veil. This I got on prescription. I got the cinnamon shade. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've got skin grafts throughout my body and I've got a different shade for that, and it really does match up and it lasts. So I can put this on my body or my face, have a shower, come out of the shower and it's still on. It won't move. Okay, this is indestructible stuff. The only problem is it's a very thick it's a very thick consistency. So when I get a bit, I really need to like work it into my hand first to warm it up. That's the trick with this. You really need to warm it up, melt it before you can apply it anywhere onto your face. So that became really time consuming for me, and I felt like when I was wearing this, I'd end up looking quite cake, and I didn't really want to go for the caked look. Sometimes I just wanted to look natural, but just not scarred everywhere. So then I moved on and I discovered this other brand. Where is it? Oh, it's here. But I'm gonna say Vichy Laboratories. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Who knows? Mine's shade 35 in Sand. It says it lasts 16 hours, but this stuff is a holy grail of foundation. So I apply this. I usually put it straight onto my face these days, but I'll apply it onto my hand. I'll show you. So if I put it here on the redness, here on that redness, here on this dark area, and here where I've got some scars, okay? Usually I use what is this called? A stippling brush. The reason I use a stippling brush is because my skin is so, the texture is just so all over the place that this gets into every sort of nook and cranny I need it to. But if I just show you how I can just put it into my face, really, really liquidy. It's not anything like the Veil. The Veil is for more, I use up my skin grafts, the Veil. So this can go straight onto my face. A little bit goes loads, a little bit goes a lot. I can't talk. This is nerve-wracking. Okay. But I use this to just blend it out and get it into everywhere that I've missed with my fingers. So if I just show you what that has done already. So what I would do then is I'd take a beauty blender and I would just blend it in. The reason I blend it in is because sometimes it isn't even after I use that brush. This just makes sure it's all flattened out. Don't forget I only applied to this area. I think maybe here and around my nose. And that is how I bring my face out. In terms of the foundation, really, really useful. It helps you cover pretty much any issue you may have. In terms of spots and things like that and acne, I've got a few spots here, as you can see. So they've made them look less noticeable, but of course they're still there. Same as how, you know, the texture on my skin is still there. The bumpiness of my scars are still there, but it just creates such an illusion that I really am grateful for. Another thing to mention is they also do the concealer, which I can't find right now. Bear with me a second. Oh yes. Okay. So, do the concealer, and what I usually do with this is I add it to every single area that I feel needs it. So I'll add this first to here, to the really noticeable areas that I'm trying to cover the most. Then I'll blend that in with a beauty blender, and then I'll add the foundation. That's how I usually do things. I just think it's a really useful way of covering any marks that you might have. You don't need to keep struggling with a drugstore or even an overpriced foundation that's not really doing anything for you. I think Boots sell this for £15, and for £15 it's honestly worth just trying it out. Estee Lauder, how much did I pay for this? Maybe 30? I can't remember how much I paid for it. And the veil I get on prescription from the hospital. So really, like, look at your choices, work out what your options are, and you never know, you could find something that you love. So with this, I've not set it yet. The veil comes with a demercolor like that, which I've put in the lid, and they advise that you just kind of plaster it all over your face. As of recent, I've started to use the Vichy Derma Blend one instead. So I just add some to the lid, and they come with a soft powder puff thing. And this helps it stay on. It helps it not run onto my clothes, and it just makes the whole thing stay. A thing I would mention is, say for example you do add any of these products and you do want to layer up, I'd say set first, wait, and then layer up. Another thing you need to remember to do is, before putting any of this on, make sure you moisturize, because these things really do dry out your skin. Moisturize, let the moisturizer dry. People forget that, I don't know why. You don't want a wet base. And then use a primer. The best primer I've come across is the NARS primer. It's got an SPF 50 in it. So SPF is like a godsend to your skin, and your future self will just thank you for it. But if you don't have a factor 50 primer, or you just want to use whatever, do apply some factor 50. So what I would do is I'd put my NARS on, and then on my neck I'd add factor 50 before adding any foundation to my face. After this, I'll let it set. I'll add my powders. Usually I've done my eyebrows by now. I'll do my lips, and I'm finished. I just wanted to show you the foundations, how I do it, what I use, and how I've felt about each of these products. Another thing to mention is, on a daily basis, you don't really need to use such a good primer. A decent primer will work, because the foundations really do carry you, but it just depends on your skin type. When you do take everything off, it won't come off with soap and water. You need to use an oil-based moisturizer. So get a cotton pad, get some moisturizer, and just remove it like that, and then wash your face afterwards, because you don't want to clog everything up. And that, I think, is all the information I've got right now. If you've got any tips or suggestions or questions, just ask me. My whole knowledge of this is really trial and error over time. I remember when I was first introduced to veil, I was advised to use a cotton bud. That didn't work. Don't use a cotton bud. Well, it might work for you, but it didn't work for me. So there are different methods. If you are using a veil, I would say use a foundation brush to put it all on and get a more of a melted, even look before adding your beauty blender. If you're using the Estee Lauder, I'd say make sure you get a colour match, because I saw myself being really pale with this. Really pale. And with the Vichy, still don't know what it's called, but with this, I think this is like my all-time go-to, and I don't think I'll change foundation unless something really makes me go wow. So I hope that's been informative. I hope that's been useful. And yeah, good luck with whatever you're trying to sort or cover. And yeah, thank you. Bye.